You've spent your whole life in a world built for someone else's hand, not in a dramatic way, not in a way anyone ever really noticed, but in a quiet, constant way that never fully goes away. You're left-handed, and if you are, you already know exactly what this feels like. Because being left-handed isn't just about which hand holds the pen, it's about moving through a world that assumed you didn't exist. If that's you, keep watching. You're about to feel understood. You're part of roughly 10% of the world's population, which means 90% of everything was designed without you in mind. Scissors, notebooks, school desks, door handles, can openers. The way text moves left to right across a page, even the way a handshake works, all of it built for one type of person. And that person isn't you. Most right-handed people have never had to think about this. For them, the world just works. They pick something up and it functions. They sit down and the desk fits. They write and their hand trails behind the words, clean. For you, none of that was ever automatic. And the exhausting part isn't any single inconvenience. It's that it never stops. Here's what most people don't understand about growing up left-handed. You became a problem solver before anyone taught you how. In kindergarten, the scissors didn't cut. So you pressed harder, tilted differently, tried again. The desk armrest was on the wrong side, so you adjusted your posture. Your hand dragged through everything you wrote. So you tilted the paper, changed your grip, found your own way. You didn't learn adaptability from a book. You learned it because you had no other choice. And here's something even more interesting. Your brain is literally wired differently. Left-handed people tend to have a more active right hemisphere, the side associated with creativity, spatial reasoning, and visual thinking. This is why left-handed people show up disproportionately in creative fields. Artists, musicians, architects, designers. Your brain doesn't just process differently, it sees differently. And that's not a quirk. That's an advantage most people never recognize. But let's talk about what it actually felt like. Because the frustration started early and it was never just about tools. You're in class, writing notes, and by the time you reach the end of the line, your hand has smudged everything. Your notes look like a mess. Your hand is covered in ink. And someone makes a joke. Why is your hand always dirty? And you don't have a good answer because explaining the entire design flaw of left to right writing feels like too much. So you just laugh it off and move on. And do it again tomorrow. Spiral notebooks. For right-handed people, the spiral sits quietly on the left, out of the way. For you, it's directly under your wrist every time you write. So you either write at an awkward angle, or you flip the whole notebook upside down and someone looks at you like you're doing something wrong. But you're not doing it wrong. The notebook was never designed for you. There was shame in it too, for a lot of left-handed people. Older generations were corrected, hands tied, forced to switch, punished for using the hand that felt natural, as if the body's instinct was somehow a mistake that needed fixing. And even now, even without the punishment, there's still a quiet message underneath everything. That being left-handed is inconvenient, different, a little wrong. Most left-handed people absorb that message somewhere along the way, not loudly, just quietly, over time. Here's what being left-handed actually teaches you. It teaches you that the default wasn't built for everyone. And once you learn that, you can't unlearn it. You start noticing design, you notice assumptions, you notice who a system was built for and who it wasn't. And that awareness makes you more empathetic, because you know what it feels like to be the exception in a world designed for the rule. Left-handed people are also more likely to develop ambidexterity, not because of natural talent, because of necessity. You've been using your non-dominant hand your whole life just to get through the day, opening jars, using tools, navigating a world that keeps handing you things on the wrong side. And without realizing it, you've been building cognitive flexibility that most people never develop. Even in sports, something shifts. In baseball, tennis, boxing, fencing, left-handed players have an edge. Because right-handed opponents aren't used to facing you. Your angles are unexpected, your movements read differently. It's one of the few spaces where being left-handed isn't just tolerated, it's valued. But the small frustrations continue. The pen chained to the bank counter on the right side, the whiteboard marker in your left hand while someone stands directly in your way, the computer mouse that lives on the right side of every desk you've ever worked at. Every single one of these is small, and every single one of them adds up. Here's your permission. You're allowed to find this genuinely annoying. You're allowed to feel like the world wasn't designed with you in mind, because it wasn't. And that's not a small thing. You're not being difficult. You're not making too much of it. You're just living in a body that works differently in a world that keeps forgetting that. And if you're not left-handed and you made it this far, here's something simple you can do. Switch seats at dinner so the left-handed person isn't bumping elbows all night. Notice when something is harder for them than it is for you. The small accommodations mean more than you'd think, because left-handed people have been accommodating everyone else their entire lives. Are you left-handed? Tell me your most frustrating experience in the comments. And if this felt like someone finally said it out loud, hit subscribe. And like this video if you've ever had to explain why your hand is covered in ink. See you in the next one.